Welcome to Mind Your Business, the channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip.
Hey, my nosy people, Wagwan. Hope everyone is blessed. So I just wanted to come on and have a quick chat about growing up hip hop. So really, I have to say that what I thought was really good was, and what I have to say about some of these shows is actually, I have been somewhat impressed with the guys on the show of late. So I really like that the fact that the guys had their own little boys link up. They went quad biking, Jojo, Young Dirty Bastard, Boogie, Sean, Tyran, Eric, like it was loads of them that went out, and I love the energy, and I'd like to see more of this as well. Little Twist was there, of course, so all the guys were there, and I thought that was kind of nice that they did a link up, and it was really good actually to see them sharing like good brotherly love and real talk. So I think ladies need to take note of that, because the same sort of thing happened on Love and Hip Hop family reunion as well, and I thought that was good, and we need to see more of that kind of energy. To add on to the boys trip, now all the guys were giving advice and sharing their own stories about marriage, the ones that are married obviously. And Sean looked like he's just not too sure about it. I think TT's running ragged with these prices that she's coming back with, and I don't think he's so much into it. And looking at next week's episode, I'm like, TT, do you want to reconsider what you're doing here, or what? Or just maybe have a chat with Sean, because he doesn't seem like he's so switched into it. I'm like, Sean, are you sure you want to get married? Are you really sure? Now, I have to say that it was quite funny seeing Young Dirty Bastard, Jojo and Eric shopping at the baby clothes store and talking about talking about fatherhood. I thought it was really nice and insightful and good that they could share their stories, because of course, being the children of legendary hip hop talent, then you're going to have your own, highs and your lows. So it's good to share that. And of course, two of them have, dads that are deceased. And of course, there's issues around money, they were saying, about families trying to fight for royalties and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it was interesting that they could kind of support each other in that way, and also talk about being a better father for their children, and not wanting to have loads of kids here and there and trying to do it different from their fathers. I thought that was really good. And I thought it was really interesting that YDB mentioned the fact that he grew up in hip hop and he had no choice, but he wants to make sure that his kids don't have to have that kind of they don't have to go into hip hop. They can do whatever they want. So I kind of like the fact that he kind of beats to his own drum. To me, he's definitely like a mini of his dad. Even his behaviour reminds me of when I used to watch like ODB back in the day. He's just definitely like a mini version of him. But it's really good to see the guys getting on well in that sort of way. Now, when it comes to the ladies, we know that it's been mixed up left, right and centre. So, of course, the whole Sequoia issue with Savanna is still outstanding. Her mum, Tiny, is good friends with Stevie J, and obviously they do music together. So they want to keep the peace and make sure that things are on a good level ground. And I suppose it's kind of like what I said in my previous video, where I feel like the kids are actually messing with, the legacy of the legends that have set pace before. So, of course, you don't want to mess with that. So I thought it was interesting that obviously Sequoia and her mum went and had to sit down with Stevie J and the little Stevie J, so his mini-me. Savanna was not at this meetup, but I found it, interesting, obviously, that obviously they all want to be on the same page, apart from Savanna. Now, I feel like Stevie and Savanna have their own issues. Like, Lord have mercy, what a disgrace, and how disrespectful is that whole interaction. It's crazy. To me, it's like Stevie knows that he's not been a great dad to her, so he kind of comes at her on eggshells, and then she's just disrespectful and firing off. I'm just like, is this like, so my American viewers, like, is this normal? Like, is this how Americans go? I mean, I've got family in America, but my people originally from like Jamaica and stuff, so we don't chat to our parents like this. There is no way you'd be standing there chatting about F this and F that and still standing. This is absolute madness. So, and as I watch it, I'm like, no, my daughter can never chat to me like this. Are you absolutely insane? No, sir, come again. But he actually obviously puts up with it, because he obviously knows that there's issues there. And to me, Savanna has got a lot of daddy issues, and she's got issues that she needs to work through. You can tell that she's not healed in the way she talks to him and comes at him. And the fact that she said that she hadn't seen him for a few months, and this is the first time she's seen him now on the show. So from her perspective, she's probably feeling like, well, you're coming to chat to me now, the cameras are here. So there's definitely a bit of discord and healing that needs to be done in that situation. And I truly hope that she does find her healing, because right now I feel like she is just misdirecting that energy and it's not directed in the right way. I feel like they need to sit. I feel like it's a simple situation, because while she made a point in the fact that she brought Sequoia along to the event, so she feels like it's a reflection of her, perhaps. I feel like all this could have been dealt with by a simple conversation. No need to throw hands. Like the fact that Sequoia's mum as well, I find that very disrespectful. So you know the mum, but you're going to go and put your hands on her daughter. Like, you're all supposed to be moving in a better accord than that. So to me, I believe that they need to sort that out. I reckon they will sort it out, but it's just blown up for no reason. Too much emotions involved, and misdirected emotions is what I feel like it is. But Savanna needs to get it together. The disrespect is unbelievable, man. I'm just looking at Stevie like, wow, this is what you're dealing with. But at the same time, based on the fact that, even Mimi and Loving Hip Hop has spoken about, the fact that he's not being consistent with their daughter. Savanna obviously clearly said that, she grew up with her mum, and you can tell that she's got like a love-hate for her dad. So there's issues there. They need to go counselling and work through that stuff. Obviously, Stevie's got his own issues going on with he's married, he's getting divorced. It's all mixed up. So I'm sure she sees that. And she did mention that she kind of stays away from his family. So clearly she's feeling like a little bit of an outsider. So I feel like he's got work to do with his daughter. But she can't go around taking it out on other people. And while she has her point about the fact that she brought Sequoia along, the fact that Sequoia has gone and kind of cleared the air with Jojo for now, not Tanisha yet, but with Jojo, and is willing to and trying to clear the air, to me, she should be doing the same rather than keeping up this nonsense. Now, I have to say, back to Sequoia, at Twist Party, I feel like she came in and she took accountability and she was willing to apologise. But on the outro of the most recent episode, where they talk about the connections and speaking about Savanna and Sequoia having their beef connection, she actually says something about the fact that she doesn't feel like she overreacted. I'm like, what are you talking about? You can't be taking accountability and then kind of backpedaling on it at the same time. So I'm hoping that was filmed before she went and said her sorries. Otherwise, it makes no sense. So she needs to own it and stick with owning it and not start backpedaling. I think she's been handling it well since understanding that she was in the wrong. She came in way too hot, and I feel like she's trying to rectify that. So I hope that she stays on that course. Also, what is this whole reference of demon time? I can't stand that reference, demon time, honey. Like, me not deal with no devil business around here, so the devil come back where I'm galang about in business. Me not deal with that at all. So me not depend no demon time, right? Righteous time me depend. Anyway, what else happened in that episode? So TT and Tyran, I have to say, I think Tyran is such a good guy. Like, he comes across, has a lovely character. I like the way that he's trying to, mend the fences between TT and his mum, because there's so much, discord. You can see that he wants to sort of build bridges and sort of mend that with the family. But as you can tell by the episode, TT was definitely not having it. You can tell she's still hurt by Pep and the whole situation that's happened and taken place. But also Pep, I thought it was good when he sat down with his mum, but you can see she wants to go to this wedding. But to me, she's lacking maturity. Like, it's your niece. You're sitting there talking about you left the ball in her court. Not sure how you guys left it. Obviously, what we saw on the screen is different to what's really going on behind the scenes. But what we saw on the screen was that it wasn't left too good, because TT walked out and you were shouting at her about something. So I don't know whether you guys came to some sort of resolution after that. But if you didn't, then if you're thinking you're going to be able to go to the wedding, then maybe that is the part of the problem. But maybe calling your niece and trying to squash that would be good, because I feel like, life is short sometimes. We spend a lot of time keeping up foolishness. Real talk is if God forbid, if it happened to any of them, they wouldn't want to keep up this foolishness. So I feel like, bigger picture, try and sort out your stuff with your family. But there's a lot that's gone on, so it's not easy to move forward. But I do feel like they could definitely try and work on that one. But other than that, I don't think there's anything major to sort of talk about. But really and truly, like I said, I wanted to kind of give the guys a bit of a big up, because I thought it was good to seeing them, interact well and kind of, share advice about marriage with Sean. And with Sean, like, do you even want to get married? Like I said in my last post, because to me, it sounds like he don't. Anyway, what do you guys think of the episode? Do you agree that Savanna's doing way too much and she needs to go off and heal? Because I can't believe the way she carries on. And how do you feel about Sequoia? I feel like Sequoia is doing right thing in terms of trying to clear the slate and keep it all on a nice level playing field. But Savanna is definitely not trying to play Miss Happy and Miss Get Along. But anyway, did you find it interesting? Was you also wondering where has Boogie been? And he's come back, and I'm thinking he's put on a bit of weight. I'm thinking that's because he stopped drinking, so maybe that, you know, that could be an impact. But most of it was just like, where did you come from, Boogie? You have not been around for ages. You weren't at Twist Party. But that could be because of, you know, the tension between him and Brianna. And we know Little Twist is, you know, cool with Brianna. That's like his little sis. So maybe he didn't invite him for that reason. But who knows? Because he did say he wasn't invited, or he didn't know about it, whatever the case was. But I did think, where have you been? It's like I forgot for a minute. I thought, oh, they just come off the show now. But obviously not. He just popped up when he wanted to.
Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.